Let's bring in Ted Williams. He's a former D.C. homicide detective, also a Fox News contributor. He joins us now by phone. Ted, we were just talking about the fact that this is the 42nd anniversary of the big power blackout of 1977. That was a very dark day, no pun intended, in New York City history. Let us hope that we don't see a repeat of some of the crime that happened that particular night.
Yeah, and that is certainly contingent plans since the 1977 blackout. Law enforcement officers have now put into place quite a few contingent plans to react to scenarios like this. One of the things that I'm encouraged to find out that it was a burnt-out transformer, because normally when something like this happens, we wonder if this has been generated by some group or some source. But now that they do know the source, the primary thing that they've got to worry about right now is how New Yorkers are going to react to this. Because, as you said, in 1977, there was a great deal of looting, and so they are concerned about that, but they have plans in place. One of the other things that they're deeply concerned about are the individuals who are trapped in buildings and specifically elevators. But what is good about this in one instance is that we're dealing with a weekend situation, simply meaning that a lot of people who would be at work during the week are not there, so that this helps law enforcement. But the fire department and law enforcement are going to be very busy here this afternoon.
Yeah, we are based in a 50-plus story office tower in Midtown Manhattan, and some of our elevators, at least briefly, were out of commission with people on board. So it's not a fun thing, especially for the claustrophobic, if you're in an elevator going up or down and all of a sudden the power shuts down. And that is what has happened in dozens, perhaps more, New York City buildings as a result of this transformer power, transformer fire, I should say. Ted, I'm sure you know from your long experience, I mean, it's 85 degrees at 8 o'clock in the evening in Manhattan right now, still very warm. Perhaps that's part of the problem, the power load for all the air conditioners that we're running. But people tend to act their worst sometimes when they are hot, do they not?
Well, you're absolutely right. And when you talk about Manhattan on a nice summer afternoon like this, and with the temperature where it is, you've got all sorts of elements out there. You've got good people who are going to be doing a lot of wonderful things, and they're trying to celebrate. But you also have, unfortunately, a criminal element that would try, unfortunately, to take advantage of a situation and a scenario like this. But again, without being overly redundant, I can unequivocally tell you that law enforcement in New York specifically, they have contingent plans to handle scenarios and situations like this. I think the fire department primarily is going to be very busy this afternoon because you've got a lot of buildings, sort of like even the building in which you're in, where perhaps the elevators are out. And when those elevators go out and people are trapped on those elevators, they use their cell phones and whatever have you to communicate with the fire department. And that certainly helps. And it also helped that 1977 is not 2019, where a lot of individuals now have cell phones. And not only do we have cell phones, but we have a lot of cameras throughout Manhattan. So if there's a criminal element that believes that they can take advantage of this scenario and situation, you may find them on candid camera or somewhere next week after this thing has been put to rest.
Yeah, also worth noting that just about everybody carries a flashlight in their pockets these days, the way cell phones work, and a lot of folks who might be stuck in the dark can just reach in their pocket, and that'll help them get out. Ted Williams, thanks very much for sharing your expertise.